Welcome to SVG-TV's news for Monday, December 4th, 2023. I'm Triska Campbell with the details. The lights in Kingston were turned on and the streets were filled with many people as the Vincentian Unique Christmas and 9 Mornings Festival was launched on Sunday evening under the theme "Our Christmas, Our Vibes." Speaking at the launching ceremony at Heritage Square, Chairman of the National 9 Mornings Committee, Orlando Charles, encouraged Vincentians to embrace the festival as our own unique creation.
As always, I wish to say a special and heartfelt thank you to all the community groups and organizations involved in undertaking the challenge of lighting up our communities and hosting 9 morning programs across St. Vincent and the Grenadines. All members of the public are encouraged to venture out into the communities and show your support for the experience that you will have from these communities. From Fitzhugh and Oya in the north, all the way down to Union Island in the south, and everywhere, so many different places in between. For those of you joining us here in Kingston, we have a few added features for you to enjoy. For the bicycle riders, we know scores of you come into town every 9 mornings. This year we'll be creating a special place for you, designated area along Back Street there, where you would have some obstacle courses, you know, some ramps and things. You could show off your skills. We'll create some competitions and some exhibitions for you. Once completed in the next week or so, this area we intend to make it interactive. We'll have some murals, seating area. You can come down in the day, have a lunch, and enjoy the ambience. For free. For those of you who enjoy steel pan, we're taking some of your favorite steel bands and we're moving them around into the various communities around St. Vincent for 9 mornings. So you want the sweet sound of pan waking people up in the morning all across St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Charles further announced that this year the 9 Mornings activities at Heritage Square will have its unique wake and wheel.
We call it. Join us here at Heritage Square from the 16th to the 24th. Come down early between 4 and 4:30 a.m. for a chance to enter into the 9 Mornings Wake and Wheel to spin our Christmas wheel. It's in the corner there, right? 9 lucky persons will be chosen to spin the wheel. There'll be 9 spins per morning, and every spin is a win. So anybody that spins the wheel, you walk away with something. And attractive prizes. Prizes could include anything from ATV tours from our friends at Coastal Adrenaline, appliances, small appliances, not so small appliances, and much, much more. So join us, take a ride on the 9 Mornings train, participate in the challenges. Let's have a grand time for 9 Mornings 2023.
Cultural Officer Maxine Brown said that the 9 Mornings Festival is a unique Vincentian cultural event and all Vincentians should ensure that they take care of it.
You believe in the essence of 9 Mornings. Year after year you come here. You believe in the rich culture, you believe in the rich people, you believe in our rich history, and you believe in our heritage. What our ancestors left for us. And as I earlier indicated, 9 Mornings is uniquely ours, and it's our duty, you, me, all are we, all Vincentian, to take care and cherish and invest in our 9 Mornings. And because you invest, we are here today. The government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, through the Department of Culture, continues to invest in our folk culture, our 9 Mornings, and we are proud of the hard work that the government continues to put in through the national lotteries and all our other stakeholders that Mumani mentioned earlier, because we believe in you. The second fact I bring to light is this, that of identity, our common identity, where our past history determines where we are now, from whence we came, as Dr. Adrian Fraser would say. And so it's important that we cherish this culture. We teach our unique 9 Morning story because we believe in it.
Several community groups performed at the launching event. Here's a snippet of the performances.
He said we go along, walking in St. Vincent in the sand.
The money, show me the money, show me the money for Christmas. Show me the money, show me the money, show me the money for Christmas. In the Christmas tree, we spreading love, love, we spreading joy, joy, we spreading love for this Christmas. Getting ham in the house, come by course we going to trust.
Tell them we coming, tell them we coming. Open the kitchen, from the front we don't start. Bring me jingle bells, Santa, bring me gift bags.
We want unto us a Savior is born. We come to say happy birthday. We come to say happy birthday. Oh yeah, hip hip, hooray! Christmas again, and we celebrating the birth of our Savior, the one true King. To be our guide, to be our light, to make everything prosperous and bright.
We catering for everybody. Catch a ride and make on your way down. We guarantee that you would have fun. 9 morning drive to the country.
And make us stop in Barrel. We know you're looking for favor.
Well done.
Well done in Baga, we have
At Sunday's launching event, the National 9 Mornings Committee recognized a number of community stalwarts for their invaluable contribution to the festival over the years. Meanwhile, there will be a media launch tomorrow, Tuesday, December 5th, 2023, for the 2023 Christmas Caroling Competition, hosted for the second year by the Ministry of Tourism, Civil Aviation, Sustainable Development and Culture under the theme Spirits Lifted. This year's contest will take place on Saturday, December 16th at the Botanical Gardens at the staging of the 9 Nights of Lights event. Tomorrow's media launch will take place at the UWI Global Campus from 10 a.m. In other news now, Prime Minister Dr. Afghan Salves, in a national statement at a high-level session of COP28 in Dubai, tells delegates that saving humanity from the disaster of a man-made climate change is a great cause, which has never been won by doubtful men and women. He says overwhelmingly and correctly, the global community has the settled view that human beings, by their acts of commission and omission, have been causing and are accelerating dangerously a climate change crisis which portends an enveloping global disaster for life, living and production.
Essentially, human beings are sleepwalking into a disaster of historic proportions. Nothing that has been proposed so far at this conference of parties has risen to the level of urgency and scale of the transformation required or demanded to avert the impending debacle for humanity. The leaders of the countries which are the major emitters of greenhouse gases know it. The profiteering barons, corporate barons globally know it. The informed population of our planet know it. And we in the Caribbean know it quite well because we feel it. So too the world's poorest people who experience daily the consequences of calamitous climate change. They know it very well. Yet we continue to tinker here and there with paltry initiatives and then celebrate them falsely as epoch-making and transformative. We may fool ourselves. We cannot fool nature. Humanity is facing a metaphoric chasm, a sprawling divide between what is required and what is being timidly advanced. We cannot cross this chasm by baby steps. If we seek to do so, we would fall below and beneath the widening gorge.
Noting that planet Earth cannot survive beyond global warming in excess of 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels and on the present course, humanity will exceed this target soonest. PM Gonsalves said while they know the compelling answers to this existential challenge, they recoiled from embracing them and acting upon them.
In any great cause, The answers or solutions revolve around 4 critical requisites. Nothing is possible without people. Nothing is doable without high-quality strategic leadership. Nothing is achievable without the mobilization of a sufficiency of resources. And nothing is sustainable without specially crafted institutions to deliver the transformative results agreed upon. We have been not involving the Earth's people in an informed and structured manner. The planet's leadership on this existential matter has been, by and large, very uneven and shows currently little sign of improving. The resources which are available among the rich countries and the rich people of our planet have not been mobilized in any sufficiency for the tasks at hand. And the global institutions to address the haunting bundle of sustainable issues are in a ramshackle condition, and there is currently very little likelihood of their efficacious reform to make them fit for purpose. Unless we address collectively and in solidarity each of these considerations optimally, humanity as we know it is doomed. This is not the usual end of times doomsday scenario of inevitability grounded in religious prophecy. In this great cause, it is necessary and desirable to apply the Aristotelian proposition: equity among equals, proportionality among unequals.
Prime Minister Gonsalves further told the gathering that the rich and powerful countries have a huge obligation to right the historic and current wrongs, while other countries must do their parts responsibly and urgently as justice and solidarity are to be combined. Meanwhile, on the sidelines of COP28, Minister of Tourism, Culture and Sustainable Development Carlos James, in an interview with NBC Radio Chanel Monroe, said it is important for the operationalization of the Damage and Loss Fund in helping countries, particularly small island developing states, in the threats of climate change.
And it's important for us to capitalize the fund. I mean, we had at the last COP the commitment to establish this loss and damage fund, and there were absolutely no commitments in terms of how we move towards capitalization of it. And at this COP, we are now somewhere in the vicinity of 420 million in pledges, and we're hoping we can translate those pledges into real commitments, tangible commitments to capitalize in the fund. The importance of it to our region, to CARICOM, to AOSIS, small island developing states within the Pacific, in the Caribbean region, is that these resources are badly needed to avert what we consider to be a catastrophe and a climate crisis that is fastly approaching us. And we're talking about sustainability of our small island developing states, livelihoods for constituents and citizens in rural communities whose survival livelihoods are dependent on our ecosystem. And it's important for us to really take this decisive decision at COP to do something about it now. Not 50 years from now, not 20 years from now, but do something about it now. And it's important for us to do that.
Minister James noted that as small island developing states, one of the major challenges we have is sourcing funds to help build climate change resilience.
Each time we go to the Parliament to pass the appropriation bill that focuses on the capital estimates of expenditure for the 2024, a significant portion of that is focusing on our resilience, dealing with issues in relation to our shoreline, protective measures that we have to put in place in terms of infrastructure, spending in terms of mitigation. All of these things come to bear. The money has to come from somewhere. And small island developing states continue to borrow at an excessive rate to avert what we consider to be a climate crisis. We are borrowing and spending more to deal with the challenges that are upon us, partly because larger countries are heavily dependent on fossils, who are not focusing on renewables and the just transition, who continue to be breaches of what we consider to be acts against humanity. And small island developing states, we are at the forefront of all of these challenges that are brought on by climate change, and we have to continue to excessively borrow to combat, to avert, and to deal with some of these challenges.
Minister James is serving as the deputy lead for the delegation of the 28th Conference of Parties in Dubai, or COP28, which will come to an end on December 12th. The Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, the ECCB, has launched a EC $2 commemorative polyester banknote. The EC $2 note showcases a portrait of the legendary cricketer Sir Vivian Richards, affectionately known as the Master Blaster. The insurance of the note forms part of the bank's year-long celebration of its 40th anniversary under the theme ECCB at 40, a year of reflection, celebration, and implementation. Addressing the launching ceremony at the Sandals Grand Antigua Resort on Friday, Chair of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank Currency Union, SVG's Minister of Finance, Economic Planning and Information Technology, Camila Gonsalves, praised the tenacity, integrity, and magnanimity of Sir Viv and thanked the ECCB for the gesture.
We all agreed unanimously that who better to exemplify the new maturity of the central bank, the sustained excellence of the central bank, the years of leadership of the central bank, and the Caribbean unity that is embodied by the central bank than somebody who led Caribbean people to greatness, who stood up in the face of oppression, who demonstrated resilience, who had a strong, principled position on the issues of the day. Today, apartheid raises its head in new forms and in new locations, morphing into genocide, and our sports people are quiet. But Sir Viv was never quiet. Sir Viv turned down a blank check to play in apartheid South Africa and understood the importance of West Indies cricket and West Indian unity. And now we have a modern set of cricketers so consumed with money that they forget the importance of the unity of the West Indies cricket team. And we have the indignity of a World Cup cricket tournament going on in India and seeing the Netherlands and Afghanistan and all kind of people that I've never heard about playing cricket, but no West Indies. Those who chased money in apartheid South Africa, those who chase money today will never find themselves on money like Sir Viv does today.
Minister Gonsalves also praised the bank's resilience over the last 40 years, noting that he is proud of the transition towards a forward-looking, modern, innovative, created, unified body that has kept our currency and economy safe for all these years, and recalled the greatness and inspiration that is Sir Vivian Richards today.
We hope as a central bank that not only as the governor says we will inspire some cricketers, we hope, but that we will inspire all citizens of the Eastern Caribbean to reflect on the qualities and the principles and the excellence that are embodied in this image of Sir Viv. I would have made the blue-green so that we could reflect the red, gold, and green wristband that he wore so often to show his solidarity with a number of causes that remain near and dear to all of us in the Caribbean. But I think that this is a beautiful image. The bill itself is almost a work of art, and Sir Viv is timelessly captured dispatching another hapless bowler somewhere over mid-wicket, it looks like. I think that in this transition from an image that embodied our past and an image that embodied sometimes a difficult past, we look with this commemorative bill to a new, confident, exciting future. And there is no better person that we could have chosen to embody that new, confident, exciting future than our own Master Blaster, the great, the immortal, the legend, Sir Isaac Vivian Alexander Richards.
The EC$2 commemorative note marks the first time that a reflective silver ink, a gold iridescent ink, and a holographic blue foil have appeared together on a banknote, representing an innovation in global currency design and security. The $2 note will be available at commercial banks throughout the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union from Wednesday, December 6, 2023. Members of the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force have launched investigations into 4 shooting incidents over the weekend, which have resulted in the killing of 2 persons. The police say preliminary information indicates that on Saturday, December 2nd, at about 7:20 a.m., DJ Howard, a 29-year-old laborer of Edinburgh, and Alonjo, a guy, a 35-year-old laborer of the same address, were attacked by an assailant and shot about their bodies. The victims were transported to the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital for medical treatment. Guy later succumbed to his injuries and was pronounced dead at about 11:11 a.m. by a medical doctor. Howard is sent to be in stable condition at the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital. At about 10:50 a.m. later that said day, Jovika Games, a 28-year-old laborer of Leo, was walking through the old cemetery in Cashville, Leo, when he was accosted by an assailant and shot multiple times about his body. Games was transported to the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital. He was treated and is also reported to be in stable condition. The 4th shooting occurred on Sunday, December 3rd at about 7:25 a.m. in Belmont. The victim, Demron Delplesh, a 31-year-old laborer of Belmont. The police say at the time of the shooting, Delplesh was walking along the Belmont Public Road when he was attacked by an armed assailant or assailants. Delplesh was pronounced dead at the scene by a medical doctor. A post-mortem examination will be conducted on the bodies to ascertain the exact causes of death. The Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force extends condolences to everyone who is negatively affected by these incidents and is asking anyone with information that can assist with these investigations to get in touch with the police, who say if you see something, say something. Do not cover up for criminals. The 16th day campaign of activism against gender-based violence is a significant time and event in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, according to Minister of National Mobilization, Social Development and Youth, Orlando Brewster. The purpose of this annual campaign is to educate and raise awareness among the Vincentian populace about issues related to gender-based violence. As stated by the Minister Brewster, we ought to acknowledge that men and boys are also affected by gender-based violence, but because of associated stigma, they are reluctant to speak openly or report issues.
It runs every year through the Gender Affairs Division within the Ministry of National Mobilization. It is used to target, address, and work towards reducing and ultimately eliminating gender-based violence, also known as GBV. The international theme for this year is Invest to prevent violence against women and girls. The ministry saw it best to contextualize this for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, making the theme Invest to prevent violence against all. We must accept that our men and boys are also faced with the issue of gender-based violence. But because of the stigma, they are hesitant to speak out or to report such events, and oftentimes they are mocked. Too long, we have focused only on the woman and forgotten our men, who suffers in silence. When it comes to male survivors of domestic abuse, this gender stereotype can have fatal repercussions. A man not only loses out on getting the help he needs, but he's also damaged psychologically. Male survivors has told us that they feel weak and emasculated for not being able to stop the abuse. They are also less likely than female survivors to come forward and speak up about their abuse. And a large part of this is because of the gender stereotypes that have been created or imposed on men.
Noting that overall more and more persons are stepping forward and making reports seeking justice, Minister Brewster said there is still a great deal to be done in dealing with gender-based violence.
An end to these abhorrent abuses and the impunity that permits these violations of human rights, we must take far greater action. GBV encompasses a wide range of human rights violations, including sexual abuse of children, rape, domestic violence, sexual assaults and harassment, and also trafficking of women and girls. Over the years, the government has invested in enacting several pieces of legislation for the protection of our citizens against violence, including 1. Drafting the Elderly Care and Prevention Act, which seeks to protect older persons from being abused, neglected, and abandoned. 2. The Domestic Violence Act, which was enacted to afford all survivors of violence maximum protection from all forms of abuse. 3. The Trafficking in Persons Act. 4. The Cybercrime Act, which protects our children from being bullied online or whatever form of violence they may face online. 5. The Child Care and Protection Act, which sends a clear message that everyone is expected to be actively involved in safeguarding the rights of children.
The global theme of this year's 16 Days of Activism Against Gender-Based Violence, which runs from November 25th to December 10th, is Unite, Invest to Prevent Violence Against Women and Girls.